And so I was running over to Pam's getting the mustard the other day. So
Okay.
anyway, a tablespoon of chili powder. Now you really, I mean, this is a serious chili cook, folks.
You betcha.
A tablespoon of chili powder. Wow. I'll tell you. And a tablespoon of MSG. Now, you just slowed me up on MSG, Bill, because I've heard bad things about it.
Okay, let's go into that just a little bit. I'm going to use it today, but, you know, if you have anything against MSG, just don't use it. MSG is a taste enhancer. It is not a preservative. A lot of people think it's a preservative. The Orientals discovered it about 6,000 years ago. It comes from the root of the wheat plant. So it is a derivative of a plant.
Yeah.
And it's, some people like it, some don't.
So is opium, Bill. But
that's right.
I mean, I just thought I would throw that out. It's, you know.
Well, chili's a mild aphrodisiac.
Oh, is it?
You betcha.
You've been looking good to me. I wonder what it was. Okay. Now you stir all that up. Is that what?
That's it. Now where are we at? Are we finished?
That's it.
Ooh.
Now you mix all the ingredients in a large kettle, a large saucepan or pan. Bill has a, I'd love that.
That's my chili pot that I use when I cook in competition.
That is wonderful. Bill does a lot of competitive cooking in chili. And this, you bring it to a boil and you stir occasionally and you let it simmer, you say even a couple hours.
Yeah.
And it will reduce down to a thicker consistency.
That's right.
During the reduce. Now, how do you cook that? Now, once you get that barbecue sauce made and it's cooked, what do you do to make the barbecue? Because I know we have
all right.
some meat over
today
here.
We're going to be cooking up a piece of meat that is normally called a brisket. I had to cheat just a little bit today because I couldn't find 2 briskets.
Okay.
But we've got a nice piece of meat here that we're going to make those cattle. I've got to show the good side for the cattlemen.
Yes. They're drooling. They see that nice marbling and they think that's great.
And what we're going to do is use a cooking bag.
And you're going to cook this in a microwave.
I'm going to cook this in a microwave.
And it's still going to be, you know, we think of barbecue and it's an all-day process, you know, and cook very slow and the seasonings to penetrate the meat, but this is very modern. I'm impressed.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to have to cheat here a little bit and get some barbecue sauce out there, but it's going to continue to cook in there.
Okay.
And we're going to put in about 2 cups of barbecue sauce.
Okay, you can just dip down in there then.
We'll get a
I'll
little
hold the bag
sloppy
open
here,
for you.
and we'll come that way with it.
So you use the baking bag. By the way, when I marinate meat, I use a Ziploc bag because I find you can just turn it. I don't know if you cowbells have tried that, but instead of a bowl, I use a bag I can seal, and then I marinate the meat by just turning it. Okay.
Well, I marinate it right in the sack.
Yeah, that's what
night.
I mean. Yeah, but
and what we do now is we just wind that thing up like a propeller, and then we'll tie it off here at the top. Like this.
Now, if you cook it like that, won't that blow up?
Yes, it would. So that's why we're going to put a couple holes in there with my little pig sticker here.
Okay. Don't say pig in front of the cattleman, please.
Oh, okay.
It's sensitive. Okay.
Now, let me cut the top off of that, too.
All right.
Let me get my sharp one here.
All right. You know.
And then, when this is done, we're ready to put it in the oven.
Okay. Now, this goes in now, how long does it cook in a microwave?
All right, we're going to cook the meat for 25 to 30 minutes per pound. And I have about 3.5 pounds here. So, needless to say, we're not going to make it on this program.
Right.
So we have one hidden back here.
You put that in, so I'll go get that one, the one you've already made, and because we're going to be stopping for a break in just a little bit, but we do want to show what this looks like because we have another recipe to share too. Now this is already done. This has had a chance to bake. Oh,
and
just cut the top off.
The top off here, and if everything goes right, it hasn't stuck to the bag.
Ooh, oh, it smells so good. Oh, that is great.
There you go.
Now that's a brisket.
This is a brisket.
Okay.
We cheated here.
All right. Why don't you lay that out like you're going to slice it, because it's very important that you don't slice it incorrectly.
That's right. Now if you'll look close here, you'll see that there's a grain. There's a grain that runs like this. You never on a brisket want to cut with the grain, or you'll just sit there and chew for days. So we're going to cut this piece of meat across the grain.
Okay.
Like this. And we're going to try to cut it as thin as we can.
And then we'll put the sauce on top. Let's stop for a break while Bill is cutting the brisket, and we'll be back with Bill and more delicious recipes after this message. Okay, we are back with Bill Brooks, and we have cut the meat, and someone in our audience has a question about the meat. Yes, your question.
My question was, what cut did he put in the bag with barbecue sauce?
Okay.
That was a large chuck, but
Large.
I prefer the brisket.
Okay, and this is the brisket that we had already cooked. And the brisket's been cut, and now you just add the sauce on
That's
before
all
you
we
serve
do.
it?
We just take and put some sauce on there.
Oh, that's
And as
good.
you can see, we're building this sandwich for you here.
Oh, this is all mine, because I am a serious barbecue.
And that's
Gourmet.
that's how we build it. We're a little messy here, but
And then you just slice it and serve it.
now what we're going to do is just slice it.
And you've buttered your bread, and you say you broil that. Just
I
a
like
little bit.
to put a little bit of toast on it,
Yes.
and then we cut it off into pieces like this.
And we've got a hungry group that's waiting for that. Before we get to cutting, though, why don't we put together, you have an excellent corn pie in your book that sounded good to me, and if you're looking at the recipe, it calls for 2 cans of cream-style corn and also 2 cans of chopped green chili. This is
These are the
excellent.
plain Ortega green chilies. They're mild.
Uh-huh.
They're not real potent ones.
Okay. And also it calls for 2 cups of shredded cheese. Do you use like the cheddar?
This is Longhorn.
Longhorn
Yeah,
cheddar. Okay,
and it's
that's
a
what I
cheddar.
use too. And 1 cup of black olives, which is 2 small cans if you're writing this down, and you drain them.
All right, and you have my olives over there.
Okay, that's right over here.
There you
I'll
go.
add those for you. And then you add cornmeal, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal.
Oh, we're getting kind of full here.
Mm-hmm.
And don't drain off the juice off of your cream corn, because if you do, then it's too dry.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that'd take you all day anyway, because it's mostly cream.
Yeah.
You know, now you have a baking dish. Do you grease that?
Yes, we grease that, so they should have some oil right there. We'll just pour some oil in it.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. Now this is going to bake in a, let's see, it bakes in a 350-degree oven. Just pour it on there.
Just pour it in there, and I'll put right in here and
coat it.
oh, just
right.
use your fingers.
Sure. Here, I've got something you can wipe them off if you need to. Okay.
go.
Just use your bib. You can turn it over for the end of the
All
show.
right,
All
okay.
right. So we had that 2 cans of cream-style corn, 2 cans of chopped green chilies. That's the small cans of chili. 2 cups of the shredded cheese, Longhorn cheddar, and 1 cup of black olives that's been sliced, and that's 2 small cans, and drain them, and 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. It will go into a 350-degree oven for 45 to 50 minutes, and then you say to let it stand for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, let it set up.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandma, who used to feed about 15 charros in southern Arizona, charro is a Mexican cowboy, and they used to make these in great big black iron skillets, and this would be served with the barbecue.
Oh.
And it was easy because they could make it up in a great big tub, and then just let the cowboys go at it.
So that goes into a 350-degree oven for 45 to 60 minutes. I guess you can tell it's done. It's kind of golden.
That's right. It'll get golden, and you can look along the edge here. You can see that it's beginning to get brown.
Oh, look at that. So it will, and if you're using a glass dish like this, I'd cut it down a little bit. I'd cut the temperature down. You ever try that?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Well, I know usually it's about 25 degrees. Y'all have tried that? 25 degrees less heat if you're using a glass dish like this.
This also works in the microwave.
Oh, it does? About how long, Bill?
You'll have to go half the time.
About half the time.
Half the time, and you'll need to cover it.
I just love you're so modern, yet you know the old-timey way of doing
I was
things.
forced to change.
Well, we all had that kind of thing happen to us because our life speeds up just a
That's
little
right.
bit. We're going to stop for a break, but I can't wait to try this and let some of our